doers, believers and achievers. Hello, dreamers, doers, believers and achievers, husbands, fathers, sons, brothers, uncles, and nephews. This is the encouragement conversation for men. Tonight, we'll be talking to some men tonight to look to see that we are to help one another, to help men, to help us continue to strive and go after our goals and live our dreams and things of that nature. And so that's what we're doing now. That's the focus of the show. That's the focus of where we are, the focus of what we're going to be doing on this particular broadcast. And we have some gentlemen here that are going to help us. And I appreciate them taking out the time of their schedule to be with us. We have Mr. Rodney Easley, a husband of 23 years. That you should have some applause for that. And some folks don't stay together 23 weeks. Rodney, husband of 23 years, and also 23 years at the Department of Transportation for Los Angeles, and he's father of 4 children. How are you, Brother Rodney?
I'm doing well, Brother Sig. Doing well.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And we have young Mr. William Irvin II. Most of you will probably recognize that name. He's the son of Bishop William Todd Irvin. 28 years old, college graduate, football player. He's presently a program manager for a mental health youth facility, and he's a California building inspector. Mr. William Irvin, how are you, sir? I'm
doing well, man.
How you doing? I'm doing real good. I'm gonna do my best to call you William Irvin. I'm not gonna call you what your Auntie Cheryl calls you.
I don't mind it, man. It's all good.
Been calling you that all your life, and I keep telling you, you're a grown man now. Don't call him that no more.
It's all good, man.
And also Minister Ray Hale, married for 41 years. Somebody say amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
41 years, retired military service of 28 years. And are you still in the reserves, Ray?
No, I retired from the reserve. I still work for the Department of the Army, though.
Okay, still working for the Department of Army. Minister Ray Hale. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Good. Appreciate it. A relatively new grandfather also.
Yeah. Number 9. It's number 9 for me.
How old is
Isaiah just turned 2.
Okay. All right. And so also we have Reverend Lewis Shaw, 9-year veteran of the Army, former King County police officer, and he presently works at the Veterans Administration. How are you, sir?
Great. I'm great.
Good. And I'm so glad to have you all with us. I'm so glad that you are. See there, William, I told you,
yes, sir.
I was trying to help. She went and put it in the comments. I was trying to get you to grow up, man. She won't let you grow up.
It's all right, man. I understand.
But all of you gentlemen, and Lewis, how long have you been married, you and Miss Vicky?
We just celebrated 10 years.
All right, 10 years. That's good. 10 years. That's good. Gentlemen, I appreciate you being here today. And I wanted to talk to you today about challenges, and not just in a sense of, sometimes you have an interview, you have a show, and it's just complaining. What's wrong? And everybody on here knows me. I'm not the type of person to just talk about what's wrong. Okay, what are we going to do about it? And tonight's show is to encourage men. We have a lot of challenges going on right now. We have challenges with, the whole COVID situation, challenges with the racism situation, and that's just general and global. Then, as we go after our own goals, we have personal challenges. I want to ask each of you. I'm going to start with the youngest man, Mr. William Irvin II. I want to ask this question. I want to ask each of you to answer it. What has been the biggest challenge that you've had to face as a black man? So the biggest challenge you've had to face as a black man, Mr. Irvin.
As a black man, I think we still facing challenges. I don't think it's ever gonna stop. I think I think that's an ongoing thing. I don't think you can really answer that question,
Okay.
because that's something that you do every day. I feel like just even at work, like, somebody Caucasian walking by and like you look at them and smile and they just keep walking, like that's a challenge. Like, it's
I
like,
got
dang, like what do you think of me? Like,
you right.
am I a problem? And I'm not a bad dude. I ain't no, like, I ain't gonna stare you down or whatever. Like I usually like smile at people or whatever, and
Right.
try to
So
make myself, let them know I am friendly. Like, but it's like I don't think that's something that you can really answer because you get challenged every day as a black man.
as
Just,
that is
police pull up
ongoing.
next to you. Like, you don't know if you want to act regular, if you want to act like you just, oh, I'm no, it's
And
hard. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's a challenge every day. And I think that's a hard question to answer because it's something can happen right now. And that's gonna be my biggest challenge. So I think it's something
I like
every
that.
day.
I
Yeah,
like that. So what happens now could be a big something that happened to you in college, but then
exactly.
graduating, going, okay, I like that. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like
So
that.
it's an ongoing thing. Now, if you want an example, I
Yes,
could say, hmm, as a black man,
I like that.
man, I can go back. I can go back to when I was, what grade was I in? I think I was like third or fourth grade, and like we had just moved out to Marietta. My
Okay.
dad had moved us out to Marietta, and I mean, just me trying to make friends, and and just being the only black kid on the block, and it was more black kids out there, but like being like the black kid from like LA on the block, it was a
Okay.
little different.
Right.
When it's like you raised a little different, So out there we was all playing one time, and this is just an example. We was all
Right.
playing football. We were picking teams, and then this dude, he was like, it's crazy because everybody in this circle was the same, but one person, and of course
Oh,
everybody was white, but me. And I
right.
was just like, I kind of just looked at him like, huh? And then like, so it was just something simple as that, and that ended up turning into like it was my first week out there, and I ended up getting into a fight and everything. Like, hit the dude in the nose, went home. The dad was all like, "You did what?" Like, it was a lot, but it's those challenges. Like, they continue to happen. They're going to continue to happen. Like, there's
Right.
nothing that I'm like, oh no, it's going to happen. Like, no, it's going to happen to me, and it's how you deal with it.
I like that. How you deal with
Yeah,
it. I like that. I like that.
yeah.
Reverend Hale, an example of maybe one of the more significant challenges, because I'm quite sure, being in the military and different things of that nature, just in life, uh, challenge you faced as a black man.
Yeah, the biggest one was in the military. Um, being black, everything was ran by the white man. And so as far as positioning and being promoted and stuff like that, I always got stepped over.
Mm,
Doing 28 years in the military and coming out as an E6, it speaks for itself. I should have been a
Mm.
first sergeant, master sergeant, come out, sergeant major, something with that amount of years. But because the way the system's set up, I came out as an E6. But through all those years, I learned how to tolerate it. I
uh,
learned how to deal with it in a way where it wasn't so negative. My reactions to it wasn't so negative. I just tolerated. I knew what to expect. You know,
oh,
did
so
what I had to do. And I still treated everybody, the way that I wanted to be treated. And so I did get some benefits from it, but for the most part, it was a fight, and it's still a fight.
I like what you said. I like what you said. You basically was in charge of how you responded to that
Exactly.
situation. And
Right.
so you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control your response. And as William said, it's going to be going on. So, I mean, you can't go off every time something like that happens. And so,
Right.
Mhm.
Rodney, your biggest challenge or an example of one.
I would definitely say navigating life without a father.
Mm. Ah,
Mm.
Definitely, definitely that being pulled by different things. Trying to learn how to grow from boyhood to manhood. What does that look like?
Hmm.
What does uh, a married man look like? What
oh,
does raising kids look like? Not having that guidance from a male's perspective. So that's definitely was the hardest challenge for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Reverend Shaw, same question.
I would have to agree with Ray. And it's growing up, you really don't you really don't see racism in the light that you see it as an adult because you're used to it.
Ah,
You know, it's just something that there is. You
okay.
don't go over here. You don't cross the tracks at Alameda. You know,
Mhm.
so I mean, a lot of you may know that, but uh, it was when I was in the military that it really struck me. I went overseas. I was in Germany, and there
Ah,
were bars that we weren't allowed to go in. There were
ah,
places that we weren't allowed to be, and that
okay.
wasn't here in America. That was overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just like Ray, I left as an E6 also,
Mm-hmm.
but my E6 was pending for years. It was
Uh,
the day before my discharge that I got it.
whoa.
Wow, wow.
Whoa.
And something that Rodney said was significant. He said one of the challenges being raised without a dad. I want to ask you. I believe it's important to have an example or what I call a picture of possibility as it relates to dreams and goals, but especially uh, manhood. I want to ask, why do you think that's so important that guys have that example or picture of possibility, and who has been that example for you? I want to start with. We'll go back around the other way. Going to start with Reverend Shaw, then Rodney, then William, and then Ray.
Well, with me, it's been a
Reverend.
number of people. I can't just give you one person specifically
Okay.
because each person has played a part in my life, and that part puts together a whole.
Okay. Okay.
But just off the top of my head, not only my parents, I have a stepfather and a father who both contributed a lot to my manhood, but I also have a pastor. And that pastor is the one who took what they gave and
Uh huh.
molded it into what I am now.
Your pastor, what's his name?
He has a familiar last name.
Familiar, huh?
Yes, S. Stuffy Shea.
Let me before I go to so let me what would you say is the importance of having an example that person as an example in a man's life? Why is that important, or I think is important, and if you agree, why is that important?
For me, I believe it's important because without the figure of a male in your life, you only have a woman to lead you,
Mm-hmm.
to teach you. And in the back of your mind and your psyche as a man, you're going to say, how would she know?
Mm.
Mm.
Whether she knows or not, it's
Okay.
still in your mind. It's still in the back of your psyche.
Okay.
And you're going to say, how would she know? And you're going to doubt it eventually.
Okay.
But to have a male figure that has gone through what you're going through and to lead you on the right path, that's more stronger than having a woman in your life.
Okay.
That's going to do that. That's going to have to fill that void.
Okay. And let me throw this disclaimer here before you know, people get upset. To be pro male is not synonymous with being anti woman.
No, no.
Right.
That statement that he just made was not a dig at females. So I want someone to understand that if anyone even started going down that road. And so
Let me
go ahead.
clarify this real quick. I was raised by my mom. I was raised by my grandmother. I was raised by my great grandmother. And I
Wow.
sat on my great great grandmother's lap.
Wow.
Married to my wife, and she loves me.
Yes, she
I
does.
have daughters. I have granddaughters.
Clean it up. Clean it up.
Granddaughters. So it was no way a dig at women.
Not at all. Oh, I know that. I know that.
Explaining a void that some men have.
Right. And Rodney, same question. Why is it important to have an example of a male in your life? And, you know, you already said coming up, you didn't have a father. So why is that important to have that? And then is there an example of someone that was that for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's important because God calls us to be the head. And so without having a head in the household, I didn't know what that looked like. And so I went through a lot of pain, my family, me and my wife, trying to figure out, what does the head look like? Is it what I think it is from what they're showing on the streets? But then I'm reading what the word of God says, and it's the opposite.
Okay.
Being loving and humble and forgiving.
Right.
And so I didn't have that example before me. Now I did have my uncle, who, for the most part, was the example.
Okay.
And I spent a lot of time with him. But he had his own son and kids that he wasn't in my house.
Okay.
So it's definitely important to have that male figure, because I can look, like I tell my sons, I said, son, I'm not going to do everything right. I said, but I'm going to do the best that I can. And you can make a decision when you have your kids to either follow my example or do something different. And the fact that my father wasn't there, I decided that I was not going to be an absent father to my children.
Okay.
I was going to be there. And so, we just need that male figure, because how do we grow from adolescent to manhood if we don't have? Because there's a lot of grown men, but they still stuck in adolescence.
Woo! Wait a minute. Pause it. Wait. Say that
Word
again.
right there.
Yeah, it's a lot of men of age, but they're still adolescents in their behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why we have men that can play video games for 10 hours instead of going to work, or have a woman go to work home.
Watch out now.
And then how do we get to being that patriot? How do we get to that spot?
Okay.
What does it look like? So we have to be intentional about raising the men in our family.
Intentional.
We have to be intentional about raising men, godly men, in our homes.
You're hitting hard, Rodney.
There, then he's left to the enemy and the streets, and it took me a long time to figure it out. Between my uncle, my pastor, Reuben Anderson.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, which I am right underneath him. I'm his adjutant, so I get a lot of one-on-one with him.
That's good.
Try to pick his brains over the years.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. William, same question. How is it important? Why is it important to have that example in your life? And I mean, I already know the answer, but who has been that for you? Just in case. Let me say this before you answer. Those of you who are watching this, you can leave comments, but if you're watching on a site other than my Facebook page, Your Encouragement, MINT, we can't see your post. So if you want to comment or ask a question, you have to be watching on the Facebook link that I put up, or you can go to Your Encouragement, and mint is spelled MINT. So if you want to leave a comment or ask a question. Okay, William, why is it important to have that example? And then, who would be yours?
It's very important just to have that example, because it makes your life that much more easier. And I'm not saying that life is going to be easy if you just have somebody in your life that shows you the way. It'll make it that much more easier, because when you have direction and you have somebody that's like showing you the way, that shows you the steps, that's giving you advice, that's showing you like, nah, don't touch the stove because it's hot. Instead of you touching it and seeing it for yourself, it makes life a lot easier. So of course, my father definitely has been a great example. Always been in my life, always encouraging me, always pushing me to be better. Even to this day, always like, hey man, you got this age where you just got to do it. You got to handle this. Like, just great advice all the time.
Right.
Really just being like, even with football, being like my number one fan. Like, he was truly like my number one fan, and like really pushed me. And also my grandfather, Bishop C.A. Irvin.
Mhm.
He was just a great man, just period, just a great man, all around. Just showed you how to be a man.
Ah, yeah.
Raised 5 boys, just took care of the house. Granny, you stay home, you take care of the home, I take care of everything else. Just a great man, and
Ah,
just a great leader. And like to this day, like people, they talk to me about my grandfather and things that he's done, and he's been going for some years now, but they still bring him up because, hey, yeah, Papa, he helped me out with this and he did this for me and da da da. And I'm like yeah, that sounds like him. Like was always helping and encouraging people and just telling you about yourself, not even knowing that you was going through something. Like you didn't tell him anything, but he just
right.
always there to like, hey, whatever you going through right now, you gonna get past the watch. You like, huh? Like, how'd you know? And it was just he just been a great, great, just like mentor and just great, just man in my life. And that trickled down on my father, then it spread down to me. And I think it's
Legacy. That's good.
yeah.
Great legacy. Reverend Hale, same question. Why is it important, and who has been that in your life?
Oh, it's extremely important. I had to start off by saying that I was adopted. I was about 6 months old when I was adopted. And at an early age, my adopted parents divorced. And so my mother remarried. So I had a stepfather, and he's the one who raised me.
Okay.
He's a plumber. And so he took me in and he started, taking me around with him to do different jobs and stuff. And I was probably about 6 or 7. So he taught me the
Oh,
trade.
dang.
And he showed me how to be a man and do a good job. If you're going to do something for somebody, you give them the best job that you possibly can do. And so he showed me longevity also. That's why I can say that I've worked 28 years for the military and I've got 31 years working for the federal government because I saw him do it. He did like 60 years as a plumber.
Wow.
And so now my kids have that longevity. They saw how I've done it, and now they have the same work ethic as I have, And so it's a good thing. So he was an excellent example for me. He taught me a lot of stuff. He's the one who played catch with me. He's the one who talked to me about the girls and about driving and all the things that a father needs to do with his sons and stuff.
Right.
So I have 3 sons and a daughter. She's the baby. So I try to be with my kids. One thing I needed to say is that when I was still in the military and I came home one time and one of my kids said, "Here comes Sergeant Hale," and but they were scared of me because I came home with that same attitude. I'm Sergeant Hale, so I'm in charge.
Right.
And it hurt my heart because I wanted my kids to be able to come in and talk to me, about any subject, about anything. And so it changed my whole attitude about how I related to my kids. And so it changed me. So now, my kids, they can come to me at any time. They call me at any time. My sons kiss me, those types, that's the kind of relationship I have with them now. But it's because I had to change myself, and how I dealt with them. But I had to go back to my stepfather who raised me. He was open like that. And I could come to him and talk to him about whatever the subject is. And he took the time with me and listened to me. And he gave me instructions that I desperately needed at that time. And so we have to be, open and ready to talk to our kids and let them know what we went through, the experience that we've had. Well, they'll have some kind of foundation to go on.
Right. That's important that you talked about that change and that incident being a catalyst for that change. Because some people would say, some people of another gender would say that men are sometimes every now and then stubborn. I don't know if that's true, but it's true. But that catalyst for change so that you can be a better husband, better father, better. So that would you say that was a major catalyst for for your change in how you fathered?
Yes. And it also affected me in the military. Like I was platoon sergeant, I was a motor sergeant. So I had people that worked for me. and so I handled them differently, and
Okay.
so and I had got more respect from the people, treating them differently than I did before. Instead of a heavy hand, I treated them with respect, and treat them like people, and so it made a big difference in the way that I soldiered.
And we face challenges ongoing. William, I want to ask you about there was a test that you had to take for for your job, and you had to take it more than once. That
Yeah.
that challenge, what made you go back? Why didn't you just say, okay, I just won't do it? Oh, what made you man up to that challenge and keep taking the test?
Uh, well, one, it costs too much to just give up on, and then and then two, just like I know with me, I see the bigger picture and things. I seen that this is a great opportunity for me to get a good start on life, like a great paying job, a job that's like I can actually help people. Because now that I've been there, I actually been like talking to more people and helping people and just like encouraging people to do better. Because they see me come in and like they're older than me, but I'm at a higher position than them, and it's like,
Oh,
oh dang, how'd you do that, bro? Like, hey man, just went to school, stuck it out, shook the right hands, and got what I had to did what I had to do. But that test, man, would encourage me to keep going because this was like it probably took me like a year to even get the test done because the test was so hard. It's one of the hardest tests to take in that industry. And what kept me going was one was your wife actually. She really encouraged me and was like, you know what, I'm gonna help you out because I took the test probably like 2 times and it came out of my pocket. Every time you take the test, it costs $225. So I took it about two
that's not two
times and
dollars
then
and
like
25 cents. That's not $2.25. Okay. All right. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And then like so it was like one time I paid for it, and the second time like my family helped me pay for it. Because this is like coming out of college.
Right.
Family helped me pay for it. And then like the third time, your wife, she just blessed me one day, like, hey, here, go keep taking that test, keep going, and you're gonna do it. I'm gonna keep doing this for you until you pass it. So I took it 3 times, then I passed. But I knew in that third time, like I started like getting it and it started coming together. And that encouraged me right there because you're supposed to be done after your third time. You're supposed
Oh,
to stop and you're supposed to wait about like 6 months. But I got sneaky on them and I made another email and I said, I'm about to take this test right now because I have to do it right now or I'm never going to do it. So I
right.
made another email. I took the advantage because I do have a 2 in my name. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take the 2 out this time and just do it like this. It is just like I did some things, but it's like I had to do it. And the encouragement from your wife, from my mom, my dad, my sisters, just my family overall, just people just pushing me. It was really people pushing me, and that's what kept me going. People
Good.
that had my back. Hey, don't stop. You came this far. You gonna stop right now? And it was just like it, and it paid off, man. It paid off tremendously. And then even I had to wait some time to even get the job, and
Wow.
just that encouragement of like, cause man, if I tell y'all the story of that, it would take me all day. But I don't want to do that. But it encouraged me to keep going because it was taking so long. And I'm like, this is gonna be one of the biggest blessings of my life because this is taking too long. And I know the longer you wait, the better it is. And
Right.
I was just like, God, like you didn't introduce me to this person or you didn't put me in this place for no reason. So, I was like, this is gonna be a big blessing. And it's been one of the biggest blessings of my life, man. Yeah, it
Great.
truly
Great.
has.
Rodney, I want to ask you a similar question. In William's case, it was a test, a challenge that he faced. Um, can you think of, and I'm asking these questions because there are gentlemen that are watching that are facing certain challenges in life with work, being out of work, with their relationships, and they might not have a dude to talk to, or they may not be able to get to him. So, Rodney, has there been, or can you speak to a particular challenge in life? In William's case, it was the test, that particular one, a challenge in life that was, extra challenging. And who was it that helped you to keep going? Or was there a particular attribute or a particular lesson you learned that helped you to keep going? If you understand my question.
I do. And I can answer to every one of those things you said. But I think the biggest challenge that I face with myself is being honest with who I was and dealing with my stuff.
Ooh.
Because I grew up thinking not having a father would affect me. I was an angry young man. Didn't know why I was angry. Quick-tempered. And I went through a program because it was affecting my marriage. And we was getting ready to fall apart and divorce. And we came across a program called Celebrate Recovery.
Oh, okay.
And that's a program where you deal with your habits and your hang-ups. It's a Christian program started by Rick Warren's church. And my wife went. I said, oh, no, I ain't going to that. No, I ain't going to tell these people my business. But I got to the point where the pain was so great that I didn't care no more what people thought. And that's when I did something. My pain was greater than my fear. So that's when I did something. And I think the hardest thing was facing my own stuff. But what kept me going was I had made a promise that I was going to be there for my family.
Okay.
I did not. My motivation was my father wasn't there. He
wasn't. So you didn't use it as an excuse. You used it as a motivation.
I used it as a motivation. Use it as a motivation. And once I got through my own stuff and finding out why I was angry, because nobody's born angry, to learn behavior. So once I got through that and I deal with myself, not looking at my wife, not making excuses, but I had to deal with me because now I'm a grown man.
Right.
I can't keep blaming the fact that my father's not there, even though that played a part.
Right.
Can't keep using that as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So once I dealt with that, and me and my wife, we started getting closer. Once we got closer to God, we start coming together. Now we in a place now where, our kids is saying relationship goals. Okay. That brings joy to me, So that was the most challenging thing, man.
I like that.
Yeah. I would say take whatever that pain is, whatever that failure is, take that and use it as motivation. That's what I did.
I like that. Use it as flip it and use it as motivation.
Yes, sir.
That's good. That's good. I want to come back with some more questions, but let me take this commercial break right quick. This is the Encouragement Conversation. I'm Dwayne Shig, and your show is partly brought to you by my latest book, Encouragements from a Formerly Frustrated Dreamer. The book is filled with motivating messages. It's divided into 3 parts: quick reads, motivational messages, and the last 30 pages are encouragement quotes. There's a chapter in here called Just Because Others Don't See It Doesn't Mean You Can't Be It, and some things you need to help you succeed. And there's another chapter in here called The Right Response to Fear. You can get your copy at Amazon.com. If you would like an autographed copy, you can send $22 to the Cash App Shig Biz, capital S, lowercase HIGG, capital BIZ, and we'll get your copy to you. If you are an author, an artist, an entrepreneur, you want to be a guest on the show to talk about your book, your business, your product, your service, you can be our guest. Contact us at drshig@gmail.com, drshig@gmail.com, and come on and let the world know about your product. We reach people everywhere from Gardena to Ghana, from Inglewood to Italy. And so come on and let them know about your product or your services. Contact us at drshig@gmail.com for the authors, artists, or entrepreneurs. I want to ask a question. I'm going to start with Reverend Shaw and then go to Reverend Hale. Both of you being in the military, can you think of a lesson, a specific lesson that you learned by being in the military that helped you in your manhood and the challenges that come with manhood? Start with Reverend Hale and then Reverend Shaw.
Well, the main thing that I learned is that I can't do it all by myself. Yeah, you have to work together in order to make the thing work. You have to watch out for your brother next to you so that he can watch after you also. So it's a team. We have to work as a team. If not, then you're going to lose the war.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So you have to watch each other's back.
Okay. Okay. Reverend Shaw, same question.
I think the greatest lesson I learned is adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
There's been when I was in the military, I was in combat, and we were on a mission to go and save a bunker. And the route we took was supposedly safe, but evidently it wasn't. So we had to adapt, which means I was in the jungle of Panama at the time. This was during Operation Just Cause.
Okay.
And which means we had to take an uncharted route, but still we had to reach the objective. And in life, sometimes you have to take an uncharted route, but you gotta keep your eyes on the objective. You gotta get there. You gotta get there. And just like Ray said, the only way you're gonna do it is as a team. As a team.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I like that. William, you were a athlete, football star in college. I want to ask you same question, but shifting it. Can you name a specific lesson you learned from playing sports that has helped you, face the challenges that in life as a man?
Keep pushing, keep going. Knowing that it has to end sometime, and that comes from workouts, running. You running 50s, you running sideline to sideline, conditioning. That's what I'm speaking of, conditioning. Knowing mentally, I'm in it right now, but it has to end sometime. But while I'm in it, I'm gonna keep pushing through it, and it's going to be done, and I'm going to be better after too as well. So I use that in life right now. I just have this, like, it got to end sometime. When I'm going through something, it has to end sometime. But while I'm in it, I'm gonna push through it. I'm gonna enjoy it too, because a lot of people don't enjoy it. A lot of people don't enjoy the struggle. I've changed my mind to enjoy the struggle. Like I look for it now. I want it because I know when I'm uncomfortable, I know that means I'm about to grow. That means I'm about to learn something from this. That means I'm about to become a better person. And it's crazy because I didn't used to like to be uncomfortable and be, in situations that I can't find work. I can't do this and that. But now it's like, I love it. Like, where's my next problem? Like, I want to go through it so I can become better.
Right.
And that's what I got from football, because you want to get better and better every year. So I can't do the same workouts I did last year. I got to take it up a notch if I want to become better. And that's the same thing with life. So
being uncomfortable. So flipping the attitude, kind of like what Rodney said about
his father.
Yeah. So flipping the attitude, uncomfortable. And I like what you so you said something. When I'm uncomfortable, I know I'm about to grow.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now, you might hear that again, and I'm gonna have to give you an offering for that one. And that's a good attitude to have. I wish I had that attitude when I was 28. Because a lot of things were uncomfortable. When I first got married, I was stupid in 23, and a lot of things were uncomfortable. First book I wrote that didn't do well, uncomfortable. First speaking event that I produced, uncomfortable. Man, I wish I had known that when I was your age, William. And to go with that, want to help somebody right now, Rodney, as it relates to manhood. What is it that you wish someone would have told you at 23? Your younger self.
My younger self.
Yeah, because there's some young men, there's some young men that don't have it watching. There are some, as you said earlier, some older men, because I thought about it, you grow old by nature, but you grow up by nurture.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't have that. So what is it that you wish someone would have told your younger self? And I want you to tell that to someone watching that needs to hear it.
That's a good question, shit.
As it relates to manhood, as it relates to
manhood.
facing some challenges.
Well, I just go back to those scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a boy, I played with childish things. When I became a man, I put those things away. What I would tell a young man at 23 is not to waste his time.
Wow, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't get it back.
Woo!
You have to live in such a way right now so that later you can live in such a way.
Run that back again. Repeat that, Rodney. That was good.
Live your life in such a way now, put in the work now, so that when you're older, you can live a certain way.
Wow. Yeah. Really?
That's what I would tell a young man.
Okay.
Don't waste this time. You can't get it back.
Can't get back. Shaw, what would you tell your younger self, wishing that, what is it that you wish someone had told you, your younger self, that you would tell a young person now, a young man now?
I would have to say,
hey, I'm going to ask you the same question, so you get ready.
I would have to say, I wish if I was to tell my younger self or someone had told me, it would just have to be, don't do it. There's been so many things. You can put together a whole list of items, but the phrase "don't do it." I wish I'd have heard that a lot more when I was young. Don't do it.
Right.
And it can cover anything.
Yeah.
Because I did anything.
Right.
At 23.
Right.
I was in Germany at 23, but even in Germany, I was getting in trouble.
Okay.
I didn't hear enough. Don't do it.
So it'll be flipping. It would be a flipping of Nike. Just do it. In your case, it would be don't do it. Right.
Don't do it. That's right.
Okay. Okay. Minister Hale, same question.
It would be that there are better choices out there. Make the right choice. Make the wise choice.
Make the wise choice. Yeah. I like that. I like that. So William, you are in much better shape than most of us, because most of the people on here has got at least 15 to 20 years on you. So in terms of what would you say to your peers that has been said to you in terms of things that have helped you facing challenges as a young man? So what would you say to your peers?
You got time. You got time.
So
don't
try
fall.
To be crazy.
Yeah, don't fall under the pressure of, if I don't have it right now, then I'm never gonna have it.
Okay.
You got time to get it. That's where I'm coming from with that.
Okay, I got you.
Keep doing what you're doing, but everybody has their season. So don't be upset because your boy, it's his season right now and he got his. Like, your season is coming, but you just got to stay down, and maybe God is doing something different with you. Maybe God's trying to give you more. Maybe God is waiting for you to mature in this area of your life, and then you're going to receive it. But time.
Right.
Don't rush the time. It's all in God's plan. Like people say, when you say, "Oh God, I need this right now," like they say He laughs at you.
Right.
And so
exactly.
Just when it's supposed to happen, it'll happen. But as long as you keep putting in your work and don't
turn it on here.
Don't be a bum about it. Just keep putting in your work, and when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah.
Keep putting in your work. I like the way you phrase that. Don't be a bum about it. Keep putting in your work. And that's what we have to do. Keep putting in the work. Help us understand, and if there's anyone watching and you've got a question or anything that you want to put in, you can put a question in that we can ask our gentlemen. Peer pressure, in terms of, we're talking about challenges, but sometimes peer pressure can cause you. Peer pressure can be good. Peer pressure can be bad. To cause you to keep going. So I want to talk about the importance as it relates to manhood, the importance of your homies, importance of the guys you talk to, the guys you hang out with, the importance of, Rodney, is it important if you're a married man, is it important to have more married friends than single friends, or does it matter?
I don't believe there's I believe it's more important to have married friends if you're married.
Okay. And why would that be?
Well, you know, when you're doing things with your friends, and you're not including your wife, you know, that can cause a wedge between you and your spouse.
Okay.
It's better to do things together.
Okay.
But what I will say is that I don't believe that there's a one fit all answer for that, because it depends on the person.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I think some people are mature enough to handle having single friends, where they can have single friends, because I have single friends.
Right.
But you know, if I'm going somewhere with them, you know, the relationship that my wife has, she trusts me that I'm not going to do something wrong.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to depend on that person and that person's relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Minister Hale, give me an attribute that's almost imperative if you're going to be an overcomer of the challenges that come to manhood. An attribute that is almost a have to have.
You would have to be trusting God.
Okay.
When I asked you earlier today about what the topic was going to be, the first thing popped in my mind was Joshua chapter 1, where God told Joshua, he says, "As I was with Moses, so shall I be with you."
Okay.
And he said, "Be strong and courageous."
Okay.
So those are the attributes: to be strong and courageous, regardless of what you're going through. You can't forget that God is with you.
Right.
And if he's allowing it to happen to you, then there's enough in you to get through it. We have to trust God to get us through it and stop trying to do it on our own, using our own whatever we have to get through it. I've learned through the years that what I have is not enough.
Ooh.
So I have to trust him to get me through whatever it is I'm going through.
What I have is not enough. I like that.
Not enough.
I like that. William, I want to ask you the same question. What attribute would you say is almost a have to help a young man to face the challenges that a man will probably encounter? Is there an attribute that you can think of that is pretty much a have to have?
I say just, I don't know. One word keep coming to mind. It's just like having determination.
I like that.
Yeah, just having that determination to, just to be, I guess, be a man. Just be a man in situations. Like it's no other way to say it.
Everybody here understands that.
Yeah, like just man up to that situation, man up to this, be direct, be forward and be honest, and
man up to it.
Yeah, just manning up. Yeah,
I like that. And if you notice, and Reverend Shaw, I'm going to ask you the same question, but if you notice, in saying determination and manning up, there were other words, other attributes that you used to talk about that. And all of those are seemingly foundational to manhood. You know, all the ones that you put in there. So, Reverend Shaw, same question. An attribute that is almost imperative to have as a man if you're going to successfully meet the challenges that come to men.
I believe tenacity.
Mm.
Need tenacity.
Right.
A lot of times men give up. They give up a little too easy nowadays. Society has made it so that it's easier to quit
Wow.
than it is to stick it out.
Wow.
So tenacity is something that I think all of us need.
I like that. I like that. I like that. In life, meeting challenges, sometimes challenges come and we don't make it on that one. We mess up, we fall, we fail. I've had, failures in judgment, failures in, working on things, books, business, speaking engagements. I think Ray was there when I fell into the toilet when I preached this sermon at Calvary and just totally went into the toilet. I mean, crash, boom. I tell people it was so bad. The choir started singing, "You dropped a bomb on me." That's how bad I think you were there. That's how bad it was. So had failures.
Yeah.
If you can give me an example of not meeting a challenge or you didn't make it that time, what was it that got you to try again, to, okay, I'm not going to let it stop me? What was it that caused you to have that attitude? I'm not going to let it stop me. You didn't meet the challenge. A challenge of life came and it beat you that time. What caused you to, they tackled you, William, they got you, they blocked you and almost knocked you out. What was it that caused you to say, I'm going to get back up and go in for another play? I'm going to get back up and try that job again. I'm going to get back up and, you made a decision for your family and it didn't work. And my wife knows what I'm getting ready to do. We were looking to buy some property and I made a decision that was the wrong decision and it cost us $5,000. And this is years ago. I mean, $5,000 for some people is a whole bunch of money. It's a lot of money now. So we're talking about, this is like 25 years ago. And so it was a whole lot of, please, 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 sure, I love you. To get me out of that. But I had to try again. So what attribute or what thing was it that got you to come back to meet the challenge of a particular failure? If you understand the question, I'm gonna go with Rodney, and then I'm gonna go around the way. William, if you it's hard to see your face, so if there's some
dark, hold on.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Rodney.
Yeah, I think one particular failure that I had was the failure to complete school, complete college. I went to junior college. I did finish that, got that degree. But of course, life got in the way and I had 2 kids. And that was a failure that I didn't complete. I didn't finish my school. But I had to get up, I had to work and get some type of skill that I can provide for my family.
Right.
And then I was able to teach that to them.
Okay.
So that they don't make the same mistake.
Okay.
I try to be an open book with my kids. So I say, listen, I didn't did it all, so you don't have to.
Right. Reverend Hale, same question. Particular challenge that you didn't meet, and how did you come back from it?
Yeah, for me it was my drug addiction days. I was trying to heal myself, and I kept failing at it. And finally, I got sick of me being me.
Okay.
And I turned it over to the Lord. I said, Lord, I can't do this on my own. I really need you to do this for me. And that day, he immediately took everything away from me, so I was healed.
Wow!
But it took me making the decision to really go back to Joshua. You know, I had to trust God at that moment, and I was saved at an early age. But when I got older, I thought I was a man and do my own thing, and,
Right.
and got away from the church. But I remember the day that I got saved. I was about 9 years old, and when I walked down the aisle and accepted Christ, the Lord told me that day that I'm going to do something special with you.
Mm.
As I was going through my drug addiction, trying to really stop, I remembered what he had told me.
Uh-huh.
And I said, Lord, you told me that, but I can't do it without your help. And so I had to surrender. I had to totally surrender. And that's what got me through is giving my life back to him all the way.
Good, good. William, same question, a challenge, and then I'm coming to you, Shaw, and then we're going to wrap up. Same question of challenge that you didn't meet, challenge that you messed up on. How did you, was there an attribute or how did you come back from it to get back up again?
I say the same as Rodney with school. When I first started school or college, it was rough because school is not my thing. But I had just went out to North Dakota to go play ball, and they told me I wasn't gonna be able to play football. The only thing that was keeping me in school was football, and that's what it was. Like I was like, I'm here to play ball, nothing else. So my first semester, I had the red shirt because some credits didn't transfer over. So I called my mom. I said, "Hey, mom, like, yeah, I'm coming home. Like, I can't do this. I'm not gonna be able to, stay here. I'm in North Dakota. It's about to get cold. It's about to snow." She told me, she said, "You can't come home." She said, "You can't come home without that paper." And that right there, because I had a whatever semester, like it was, I was done. I was out of there. I was like, you know what? I seen everybody else leaving. Everybody else that was red shirt and didn't have the credits to play that year. Everybody else was leaving. I'm like, all right, I'm with them. I'm going. I'm out of here. I already checked out. Honestly, started packing and everything. And then she told me, she said, "Hey, you can't come home without that paper." And that right there, like that just like, all right, I can't come home without that paper. I'm going to go home to nothing. So that encouraged me to like flip it that day. And it just, and I definitely like went and got that paper, because I wanted to come home.
I understand. Yeah. So whatever the motivation is. Reverend Shaw, same question. A time where you didn't make the challenge, you messed up, you failed, what was it that helped you come back? And you, I don't know if you're looking, but your mama just wrote in the comment section.
I can't even see it.
She said, "Yup, that's what I said."
That's funny.
Same question.
It would have to be when I got out the military. I joined the police department, and I joined the police department to make a difference. I experienced, and I became aware of and more proactive towards racism. And coming from LA, that was one of the areas where racism was it was really rampant. So I joined the police department, but I was in Kent, Washington, and with King County Police, I was let go. First time in my life that I ever was fired from a job.
Wow.
And I was let go because I refused to racial profile. So this led to a divorce. This led to drug addiction. This led to homelessness. This led to jails.
Jails, you mean you went to minister to the people in jail, right?
Yeah, right. The last time I went to jail, I ministered to people in jail. And that's when God talked to me. Now, I'm glad you brought that up because that brings me to this point. How I got over that challenge after being at the lowest point in my life was going to prison. While in prison, I read the Bible every day, I led Bible study. I prayed for people who got released before me. I I just totally gave myself over to God.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
When I
okay.
got out, my wife now was waiting for me. My church was waiting for me. My pastor was waiting for me, and I never left.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. We're gonna close this with a question. Terrence Jackson from Detroit asked a question. What is driving you guys to be a better person daily? So there are challenges still coming, as William said earlier in the show. There's daily challenges. So what drives you to be a better person daily? So in answering that question, say something, answer the question, and then say something to the guys that are watching that will help them. So I want you to do two things with the question. So we're going to start with Reverend Shaw, Rodney, William, and close out with Reverend Hale. But the question, what is driving you to be a better person daily? Answer the question by way of, your answer, but helping somebody watching so that they can meet the challenge and be better persons, better guys daily. Reverend
Where I work at the VA. I work in a COVID-19 unit. It's a recovery unit. But I see patients every day. I see veterans that are stricken with diseases. I see veterans that are stricken with amputations. And I
Shaw.
see veterans in a destitute situation. And when I see them, I have to I have to encourage them.
Okay.
I have to. It's
Okay.
just in me to do that. I don't go to work to do my job. I go to work to do what God sent me there to do.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
every person I come in contact with every day, I make it my point to get them to smile. If
Mm.
I gotta be the fool that day, they have to smile.
Okay. So you
That's what drives me
okay.
to
I like
see someone else smile.
okay. The driving force. I like that. I like that. Rodney, what is driving you to be a better person daily? Answering that and helping somebody, closing out, helping someone.
What drives me is I'm a father, so I need to be a better father. I'm a husband, I could be a better husband.
Wow.
I'm a grandfather, I got to be a better grandfather. When I look at that book, them scriptures, I see that I got a lot of work to do. So them scriptures is driving me. The fear of the
Ah,
Lord drives me to do better every single day.
I love it.
I'm trying to get better every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know that God is not finished with me. He hasn't brought me this far to lead me. And he got work for me to do because somebody is looking at me.
Yes.
Somebody's watching my works.
Mhm.
And so I want to be a positive example to the next young man whose father wasn't there.
Wow.
Mm.
I want that young man to know that I did it, you could do it too.
Wow. Wow. That's
That's
good.
good.
That's
That's
good.
what
That's
drives me.
okay. Young Mr. Irvin, what drives you daily to be a better person? Help somebody.
Um, to help somebody, just knowing the outcome of the last thing that you did, you know,
Wow.
yeah, you
I
helped
like
this
that.
person out before, and then now they're on to better things in life, or they're doing this different, or they took a different approach on life, and it's like,
Okay.
dang, like that really changed their life. Let me go on to the next person. Let me encourage this person. Let me help this person,
Ooh,
and seeing the outcome of that is like more beneficial than seeing the outcome of like your situations.
Okay.
So, and just to encourage people, man, just keep going. Like, it's, if you truly believe, truly believe in God first, and then truly believe in yourself, things are going to happen. I promise you that. And it may not be the way that you thought of it in your head, but I'm telling you, just keep have integrity and just really know, like, if I keep pushing, it's something good is gonna come up out of this.
Yeah.
Something's
Have
good
integrity.
gonna come
Keep
up out of
pushing.
this. Yeah.
I like that. Something's good gonna come out of this. I like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hell, same question. What keeps you going daily? What's driving you to be a better person?
Right now on our Wednesday night streaming Bible study, we're dealing with accountability. What
Ooh.
Mm.
what God has done for you in your life. So how are you showing God that you appreciate what He's done? And so each day before I pull out the driveway on my way to work, I always ask God to do whatever it is His will is in my life, that He may get glory from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm.
whatever it is. If I have to look foolish today to the world, then let me look foolish today. If I have to sit down and pray for somebody today, then make the opportunity for me to be able to do that.
Okay.
I want to be like Rodney was saying. I want to be a better me today,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
being driven by the Holy Spirit. I can't do it without the Holy Spirit, but I have. So I guess being a better listener for the Spirit,
Okay.
and obedient to the move of God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for the question. And that Terrence Jackson from Detroit that asked the question just coincidentally happens to be my cousin. And so thank you for the question. Gentlemen, I want to say thank you. We've got to close this out, but I truly believe that men were helped today because of what you have said. And I want you to know I really appreciate it. As I've told you before, my grandfather, Mr. Ben Shig, said, people don't have to be nice, and when they are, you ought to say thank you. So thank you, merci beaucoup, and any other language that you know, thank you. And when we sign off, I need you all to hang out a little bit. But to all of our men that are listening, we've heard some great information today. Meeting the challenge, manning up, having someone to be an example of integrity, an example of accountability. So find that person, be that person, as Rodney said, the next guy that's looking at you, the next guy that didn't have a father, the next guy that came through drug addiction, the next guy that had insecurity issues, such as I had, the next guy that messed up, the next guy that was going to quit school. Be that example for them. If you need that example, find the person that did that, and you can meet these challenges. You can make it through. You messed up. We all messed up. If we ask for the hands of the people who messed up, every man on here would have both of their hands up and their feet too. But just because you messed up doesn't mean you can't move up.
That's right.
So be encouraged that you can meet the challenge, that you can come back. William played football. You look at him right now. He's probably knocked down a time or two, but he got back up and won a few games too, each of us. And so all I'm saying to you, brothers, you can do it. Meet the challenge. You can do it. Rodney and Minister Ray talked about dealing with the real them, dealing with your own stuff. We've got to deal with our own stuff. Find somebody to talk to, because sometimes we don't talk to people. I'm not saying put your business on Facebook, but there's somebody that has integrity that you can talk to when you just need to let it out. You need to scream, yell, cry, cuss, fuss, whatever it is you need to do without doing something that's going to hurt you. But you've got to get it out, because there's greatness in you. There's answers in you. There's leadership in you. There's a deliverer in you. And somebody needs that. So keep going. Don't give up. Don't take those pills. Don't pull that trigger. Don't jump off that bridge, because there's greatness in you. You've got a lot more to live for. And somebody is waiting for you to help them. So you're somebody's example. Okay? You can do this. And as I say at the end of all of my videos, your dream is doable. All you have to do is go get it. Stay encouraged. If you want to see some of our other videos, you can go to Your Encouragement. You can go to Instagram at EncourageMan, the letter EncourageMan, or YouTube, Dwayne Chig or Your Encouragement. You can follow me on Facebook, Dwayne Chig, Your Encouragement. If your organization is looking for a speaker, contact us at drchig@gmail.com. And we told you about our book. If you are a writer, or author, or artist, an entrepreneur, you want to be a guest on the show, contact us at drchig@gmail.com. This has been the Encouragement Conversation. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. You taking out the time to be here. Don't sign off. Hang on just a little bit while. But for our viewers, thank you so much for being with us. This has been the Encouragement Conversation. I'm Dwayne Chig and want you to always remember that your dream is doable. Go get it. Be blessed.